Wake up, Toronto. Happy Friday. Quick question. Did any of you get all your Thanksgiving shopping done and out of the way? Because I actually took a trip down to the grocery store, yes, me, on my break yesterday. It was a Thursday, and I was surprised to see that it wasn't as busy as usually it is expected to be during up and coming holidays, right? And it was just kind of empty. And weekends, though, that's another game. Like, checkout lanes are crazy, but I may have stood in line for 6 minutes at the most, and within an hour I was home. And I'm so glad I didn't save it for the last minute, because I also was able to get all the ingredients I was looking for. There were no shortages, so that was like the cherry on top. I had a great time. Anyway, I think a few shows over, I shared a story about a mourning dove visiting me on my front porch. And long story short, how the bird didn't get startled or fly away. Instead, it just chilled there eating seeds while I picked some flowers from my garden for prayers, because there was a Hindu 9-day festival going on at the time. After hearing that story, a lot of you DM'd me about it and were curious to know if the dove had come back. And I have to tell you guys this. Sadly, the dove didn't return, which had me believing even more that it was a sign from the universe of some sort. And especially me Googling the meanings behind what the possibilities or reasons were. But I'm okay knowing that it was just a personal and special encounter. A lot of you also shared some of your experiences too from the beyond. And respectfully, I'll keep your identities hidden, but I'd like to share a few today. So this first one was about this person who had lost someone very, very special and close to them. And they were asleep one night, and that person who was no longer here in this world came to them in a dream. Now, it was nothing fear-inducing like a ghost trying to scare them, but it was rather a peaceful, calm kind of message that they were giving, telling them that they're okay wherever they are. And I find that so beautiful. It's kind of like getting closure from, an angel of some sort. And it just gives me tingles just talking about something like that. So another touching story was this person's mother had passed right before she was heading into university. And the girl was very heartbroken because she's really close to her, and she wished she had her mother to talk to for some advice as she was heading into a new beginning. Now, this girl was just decluttering her closet, rummaging around, and while that thought was in her mind, a folded paper had fallen from the shelf. And when she opened it up, it was a letter from her late mom that the mother had written to her when she was about to go from elementary school to high school. Now, it may have not been a new message, but the words were encouraging and relevant to her new journey. And again, it felt like a sign from her mother that although she may not be there in the physical sense, but she's around and sending her blessings. I absolutely love these feel-good stories, especially the ones where people help each other. Stranger love is always such a surprise and kind of reinforces faith back into humanity. Having said that, let's talk about not so nice parts of humans. Not trying to take away from the positivity I just shared, but I assure you, you may learn a thing or two from this. So recently, I've seen a lot, and I mean a lot, of social media accounts get hacked. And many are successful businesses with years of content. And then what happens is when they go to make that attempt to recover their accounts but are unable to because they haven't added an extra layer of protection, which I'll get to in a bit. And that doesn't deter hackers. And so they have to create a brand new account and start all over. Plus, they have to reach out to their followers to not engage with their old account no matter what. So, can this be prevented? Absolutely. Now, most apps offer 2-factor, sometimes 3-factor authentication, meaning if you log in from a different country or browser or device for the first time, you'll be notified immediately and will be asked to verify yourself, whether that be through an email, phone call, or text, whichever method you have set up to get these notifications. And then you'll get a one-time code and use it to log in. If it wasn't you, then you would click a button that says, no, I wasn't trying to access my account. And that will stop the hacker right there and then, which also means that you should go back and update your password to something new. And also, don't use the same password for every account, because if they can try one, they can try other platforms you're on, and if there is no 2-factor authentication enabled there, they'll easily be able to get in. I highly recommend this security feature. Number 2, do not, and I can't stress this enough, use personal information in your passwords. That includes birthdays or your SIN number. Nowadays, I think when you create a password, there's a box in the corner that highlights the requirements, such as, 18 to 20 length of digits mixed with alphabets and symbols, so you can create a very strong one. Number 3, do not click on links that are sent via DM or through email. Hackers can put malware such as keylogs, which record every stroke you type on your computer or your device, and retrieve those passwords and sensitive information that way. And then they can use it towards fraud purposes or ransom, and they can also threaten you to leak that sensitive information online to the public. Now, it's happened to a lot of successful billion-dollar companies, and they're targeted specifically for that. But hey, it could happen to anybody. Number 4, fake accounts. It's sad, but true. People nowadays create public profiles of celebrities and businesses, and then they DM their followers while pretending to be this celebrity or business, promising them friendships or tickets to concerts and free products, whatever that is. But in return, they ask for money. Believe it or not, but people buy into it. So be sure to check the celebrities that you're following or businesses that you're following that are very well known in the world, and they should have a blue check mark by their name, and that means that they're verified. So they had to go through an entire process to make sure they are representing who they say they are. So that's a good thing to look out for. So recently, one of my colleagues in the same industry, her name is Jennifer Singh, and she's a literal powerhouse. She runs a company called She's Newsworthy. It's a PR business, and a little bit of highlighting her career, she's helped at least 70 plus women entrepreneurs go on air, like on TV or radio, and talk about their business. And it's just such an incredible movement. And so you can see how a super successful entity could be the cause of someone trying to wreak a little bit of havoc and take potential clients from her, direct them to a fake profile. And so I'll link Jennifer's one and only account in my bio, but there was a bunch of accounts that were made trying to mimic, her using the exact same bio and content from her posts, and I immediately reached out to Jennifer to see if she had been hacked, because the new account said, please unfollow the old account and follow the new one. So I think Jennifer was aware this was happening. Maybe somebody gave her a heads up prior to that, but she did make an Insta story stating that no, this is her legit account. She wasn't hacked. And so I reported the account. As I knew there was something wrong and fishy because there were so many grammar errors. And as a journalist, that bothers me so much. I'm like, there's autocorrect on absolutely everything nowadays. Anyways, this afternoon, Jennifer got back to me and she verified that her old account exists and it is her. And we chatted about it for a bit. And I'm so happy that the fake accounts were removed. But it's frustrating because you'd think Instagram, their interface, their software is advanced now after being around for so long, and the people that work there are able to kind of act quickly. I've also had the same issue with the algorithms too, right? So I don't know, Instagram, you need to up your game a little bit, because it is frustrating for all of us users, especially when we're sharing our content and only like 5 people see it and you get 2 likes. Anyways, I think this is a new tactic that hackers use, because believe it or not, hacking is a type of business. So they probably get together, sit in a boardroom discussing their next motive and move. And so I think this new thing is to get people to unfollow the legit accounts, the real ones, and by the masses, basically, by saying, you know what, my account was hacked. So everybody kind of shifts to this brand new account, and that is where they get pretty much screwed. I think there is one more account that's fake of Jennifer's still lingering on Instagram, but this time I feel like the person who created it was trying to be smart, so they privatized the account, and so you have to request a follow to get access. But I'm hoping, fingers are crossed, that it's taken down shortly as well. Now, although I've never been hacked for things like ransom, because my husband is in IT, so I basically learn about tech on a daily basis, so I can relax knowing that I'm well protected. But about a few years ago, someone, or a bunch of people, who knows, created multiple accounts of me and stole my content and then shared it on these fake accounts. And basically the captions were really different, but the pictures were the same. They were just using, I don't know, it was just weird. Anyways, it was brought to my attention that, this was happening, and so I reported it to Instagram that someone was impersonating me. And I also got a lot of my friends to jump on board, and they reported it too, and within 6 hours it was successfully taken down. Now, I was livid, of course, not because it's a fake profile, but I was concerned more so of the things it was doing. For example, cyberbullying, or asking money from strangers. So they are falsely representing me and things that I believe in. I think people like these, of course, are doing wrong. And come on, catfishes, holy, they're just on another level. They're just horrible. Now, they may be suffering their own traumas. Yes, absolutely. There's this huge stigma around mental health, and now it's kind of slowly changing. Services are being offered. There's lots of ways you can talk to somebody. It may not be an easy thing to overcome, but there is help. However, does it make it okay to be someone you're not and go through all of that effort to create profiles because either A, you dislike that person and are trying to get revenge, or you're looking to gain something out of it? I've seen a lot of MTV Catfish. It is interesting television, let me tell you. But yikes, humans can be ruthless. But that's a discussion, a very long one at that, for another day. All right, to sum this all up, get 2-factor authentication enabled on all of your social media platforms and devices. Save yourself the troubles for someone getting into your account and you having to start all over again. It's not fun, guys. Trust me, it isn't. I've heard all sorts of sob stories on this, and it's available online. You can figure out how to do it there, or ask someone who's already done it to help you with that. So this brings us to the end of our segment, guys. Hope you had a great time listening. I love talking, so Isn't that the perfect match? Anyways, have yourselves a great weekend. It is Thanksgiving, so, lots to be grateful for and blessed for. And so may you have an incredible one, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Much love. Bye.